you're back here. How does it feel to be back starting a new A-League season with victory where you did so well last time?
Yeah, amazing. Firstly, to be home, family and friends are here. I'm a Melbourne boy, and to be back at this club, I've always said a very special club. So it's an honour to be a part of the club and this team, and did well last time I was here. So here to replicate that and hopefully win a trophy this year.
What's it been like coming into a team that was pretty successful last year? You can't come in and act like you yourself are going to make a big difference. You kind of work with what's here. How's it been coming into this festival?
I think the club, obviously the last two have been a part of the last two grand finals, but for me, this club, the fans, myself, I'm sure the players here, success is driven by winning trophies. So obviously getting there is one thing, and you have to be in the game to be able to win the trophy. So this year it's about making that next step. I think the players that have been brought in, I've been brought in to be a part of a group to try and make that next step. Got a lot of good young talent. Last year they lost a few players as well because obviously having a good season, they've made moves abroad. So as an experienced player coming back, obviously one of my roles is to help the next generation of players and the next ones to hopefully make that next step over to Europe as well. So I think with all in that, everyone's on the same page from top to bottom. And tomorrow night will be the first opportunity for us to go out there and show what we want to do this year.
Have you changed much yourself since you were last here?
I think obviously the older you get, the more mature you get. Hopefully, I think I went overseas. I ended up playing a different position over there. I was playing centre back a lot of the time over there. So I think having that versatility to come back, if need be, to fit into different systems and different positions. I think that's one thing that's probably changed since I last was here. I know a lot of people have been asking me about my hair colour, if that's something I wanted to replicate like last time. But I think from a maturity standpoint, I think it's probably better to stay natural now and show different kind of leadership qualities, and like I said, to help the next generation, the young boys coming through, giving that experience and balance, but in the same breath with a set target of making sure that we can win a trophy this year.
Just unpack the hair thing for us. When was the last time you had a bit of colour up there, and what did someone close to you say, oh mate, maybe it's time to get a bit serious?
Yeah, I think last time I was here, we played around with different colours, and a lot of fans since I've come back have asked the question if I was going to do that again, and I think they enjoyed it. I think it was a bit of fun. It originally just started from my kids. My son wanted blue, my daughter wanted pink, and then we just kind of went with that and went with the flow. And obviously, I had the pink hair when we won the FFA Cup and scored in the final, and it kind of just one thing led to another. And then when I went overseas, I kind of just was getting older, so I wanted to protect the hair and not too much dye in there. So, like I said, I think it's a different role that I have in the team now, as one of the older and experienced players. So for me, I think my wife said just kind of come back, lead by example, and maybe keeping the natural hair is the best way to go. So let's wait and see. I never said it won't come out, but definitely not for tomorrow. But you never know. It's something that we can. Let's hopefully we start the season well, and you just never know. It might pop out sometime during the season.
Is something that's still on your radar?
Yeah, I think throughout my career, I've always kind of said if you perform at club level, you'll always get an opportunity. And I think with Tony, what he's displayed in the last camps as well, that he's not afraid to give A-League players a go. So I think for myself, the opportunity, if something does come up, obviously it's a privilege and honour to represent your country. But I think the hard work and the sacrifice has to be put in place first at Melbourne Victory, and the reward is obviously if you perform at club, you have an opportunity. And to walk up here, I think everyone will be excited about performing at club level, staying healthy, playing as many games as possible. So for me, yes, it's obviously something in the back of my mind, but definitely Melbourne Victory is first on that list.
A couple of pretty handy left backs in Boston as his coach competing with you. You just mentioned before you spent time playing centre back. Do you hope that versatility is something that can help you if you, like you say, you can perform at club level wherever they need you?
Yeah, I think as a coach, if you have a player that is very versatile, it's always going to be a bonus. Doesn't matter what position, what age. You've mentioned two players that have done really well. I think Geordie's gone over to Europe and have done exceptionally well. He's established himself in a big club. He's made the right steps, and I think he has a very bright future. If he continues to go that, I think the sky's the limit for him. And Aziz is an experienced player that's done it all as well in the game. So for me, where do I fit in that? If I fit in that, I'm not sure. I think every player, from goalkeeper all the way up to the front line, I think everyone's just going to be concentrating on performing and doing what they can do on the pitch. And in football, it's a funny game. It all sorts itself out. And if there's something there for me, then of course I'd be honoured. But like I said before, solely focusing on Melbourne Victory.
Fans are excited to see what Denny might add to the team this year. Arthur's just mentioned he expects him to go forward, not just be holding midfield. What do you see from him in the warm games and the training?
Yeah, he's obviously a quality player that spent time overseas. He was in France and recently in Spain, and he's at his prime age. So firstly, it's a credit to the club to bring a player of that calibre back to Australia at the age that he's at, and obviously he has his own ambition. And I'm sure with a World Cup coming up, he would want to perform and try and get on that plane. He's obviously more known probably as a box-to-box kind of midfielder, and since he's been here, I've seen he's obviously further up on the pitch. I think he's got the quality to be in those pockets for us and be that X factor. And I think he's another one that has a bit of versatility to him, and I think that will be beneficial for us. Because you just never know with injuries, suspensions. If you have those kind of players that can play multiple positions, then it'll help the team. So for me, looking forward to play with players like him, and there's other players in the team that have come in, and I think we're all on the same boat. We've just come in, we've worked hard, and we have our ambition to win a trophy here.
How much have you enjoyed having Juan as a teammate?
Juan is an amazing. Firstly, I'd like to say he's an amazing person. For someone that's done so much in this game, to be so humble and such an approachable person, it's unbelievable. And as a player, obviously, what he's done in the game speaks for itself. At his age, to have the hunger and ambition to still want to come to training and still want to fight for a position, and he's going to be someone for us. I think he's going to surprise a few people. I know he was in the A-League last year, and maybe didn't get as much minutes as he probably wanted, but I think he's come to the right club, and I think it's a perfect fit for us and for him, and I think he's going to surprise a few people this year.